Hello everyone, in this video we are gonna discuss a part of speech called conjunction. So without further ado, let's start. So we are gonna discuss the conjunctions, coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and correlative conjunction. So we are gonna define and discuss the meaning of a conjunction, the coordinating, subordinating, and correlative conjunctions, and we are going to show you how to construct sentences with the correct conjunction usage. What is a conjunction? So when we say conjunction, it is a word that links other words, phrases, or clauses together. And it can be classified as coordinating, subordinating, and correlative. So when we say coordinating conjunction, it is a conjunction that connects words, phrases, and sentences that are equivalent or coordinate. That is why it is called coordinating conjunction. And when we say correlative conjunction, it is a conjunction that are used in pairs to connect words, phrases, and clauses. And lastly, when we say subordinating conjunction, it is a conjunctions that connect independent clauses to dependent clauses.
Okay, now you already know the definition of the word conjunction. Now let's proceed to the general overview of the word conjunction, coming from the different authors. Now let's proceed. A general survey on English conjunctions as means of textual cohesion can be found in Halliday and Hassan in the year 1976. They said, a landmark in the study of conjunctions as tools of textual cohesion, unlikely based on English, which can still be considered a true landmark in the study of the syntax and semantics of conjunctions. Many European languages are included in Kortman in the year 1997. Monograph completely dedicated to subordinating conjunctions in several European languages. One of the few books on conjunctions integrating a synchronic and a diachronic perspective, which provides a typology of subordinating conjunctions integrating a synchronic and diachronic perspective. Larry said in the year 2008, collective volume gathering contributions focused on multifunctionality of conjunctions based on data from several languages. Reben et al. In the year 2007 provides interesting contributions on connecting devices, emphasizing the analysis of conjunctions from various perspectives like language to contact, language to change, language of acquisition, and multilingual communication.
Hi, I am Sir Akutan and I am gonna talk about the coordinating conjunction. I am gonna discuss its definition, its purpose, examples, and syntactic environment.
Now what is a coordinating conjunction? It says here that a coordinating conjunction is a conjunction that connects words, phrases, and clauses that are coordinate or equal to each other. There are 7 coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And they can be remembered using the acronym FANBOYS. The purpose of the word for is to show reason. The purpose of the word and is to add information. The purpose of the word nor is to add negative information. The purpose of the word but is to show contrast. The purpose of the word or is to give a choice. The purpose of the word yet is to show concession or to contrast. And the purpose of the word so is to show result. For example, we can see a horror movie or we can see an action movie. So these clauses, we can see a horror movie and we can see an action movie, are both independent clauses, and that is what makes them equal to each other. So we use this coordinating conjunction or to give an option whether to see a horror movie or we can see an action movie. Another example is I love cats and dogs. Again, the word cats and dogs are both noun, and that is what makes them equal to each other. That is why we use coordinating conjunction and to link these two words.
Correlative conjunction are conjunction used to illustrate how two words or phrases within a sentence relate to each other. Correlative conjunction always come in pairs, though they can illustrate a correlation between the two words or phrases. They don't necessarily have to. In many cases, the words or phrases linked by a correlative conjunction can be discussed independently of one another. In these cases, joining them with a correlative conjunction makes your writing more concise and emphasize that the two things being discussed happen in close succession, at the same time, or as a result of the same cause, or that they are both distinct possibilities or outcomes of a shared cause or starting point. We use correlative conjunction in our speech all the time. If you ever said something like, I could play either soccer or basketball next season, you have used correlative conjunction. Here are some types of correlative conjunction and their examples.
Okay, so for correlative conjunctions, I'll be explaining regarding the types and examples for this part of our topic. So let's proceed. So for this part, first of all, we would like to emphasize the importance of the use of the correlative conjunctions. There are three factors regarding the importance of it. So the first one, it does ensures that the verbs do agree with each other, or so the sentence would make sense. And then the second one would be correlative conjunctions ensure that pronouns agree. And lastly, correlative conjunctions make sure to keep the parallel structure intact grammatically. Okay, so let's proceed with the types and example for the correlative conjunctions. Okay, listed here, we can see the examples for the correlative conjunctions, which is either or, not only, but also, neither, nor, and the sentence example for each of those. So, you either cook or clean the house is the sentence example for the first correlative conjunction. And for not only, but also, not only is she beautiful, but she is intelligent also. Lastly, we can see here on this slide that neither the basketball team nor the football team is doing well. So notice that the underlined word on the sentences mentioned are those of the correlative conjunctions. Another types and example for correlative conjunctions would be both and, which is both my cousin and my best friend like ice cream. The second one would be whether and or. So whether you stay or go is your decision. And lastly, just as and so. And the sentence example would be just as many Canadians love hockey, so many Italians love soccer. So same as the previous slide earlier, the correlative conjunctions used are already underlined and marked so that it would be easier for us to identify those when using the sentence. So that's it. So for the types and example of correlative conjunction. And that concludes my topic for my part for the correlative conjunctions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Jane Prudente, and today let's talk about subordinating conjunctions. In this part, we are going to talk about the definition of subordinating conjunctions, some examples, how is it used in a sentence, and of course, its syntactic environment. Let us start with the definition. A subordinating conjunction is a word or phrase that links a dependent clause to an independent clause. This word or phrase indicates that the clause has informative value to add to the sentence main idea, signaling a cause and effect relationship or a shift in time and place between the two clauses. To simplify, a dependent clause is also known as a subordinate clause, which means that it does not have a complete unit of thought on its own and it cannot stand as its own sentence. On the other hand, independent clause can stand on its own as a complete sentence. It has the capacity to form a complete idea or thought. Remember, all sentences are clauses, but not all clauses are sentences. Subordinating conjunctions showing cause and effect. The subordinating conjunction that is simplest to explain is because. Because is a conjunction with just one purpose, to show a cause and effect relationship between a subordinate clause and the main clause. On its own, a clause beginning with because is incomplete. Here is an example. Robin wasn't allowed in the Batmobile any longer because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt. In here, we can see that the conjunction because is placed before the dependent clause. The conjunction because there serves as a partition for the independent clause and the dependent clause, which shows the cause and effect relationship. A while ago, we said that the clause beginning with because is incomplete, but not when we add an independent clause. Let us look at the next example. Because he wouldn't wear a seatbelt, Robin wasn't allowed in the Batmobile any longer. We can see here that this sentence has a complete thought because we added the independent clause. A comma was added here to separate the independent clause and the dependent clause. But in most cases, a comma is not necessary if a subordinating conjunction follows an independent clause. Here are more subordinating conjunctions that can show cause and effect in the sentence. Subordinating conjunctions signaling relationships of time or place. Another function of subordinating conjunctions is to show a relationship between two clauses involving a transition of time or place. Some examples of such subordinating conjunctions are once, while, when, whenever, and etc. Here is an example. Once Batman learned that Robin had not been wearing his seatbelt, he took away his keys to the Batmobile. The subordinating conjunction once there shows a relationship of time. Let us now proceed with the syntactic environment. Here is the example sentence. You and I are going to the mall today if the weather is nice. You can see that I labeled all the words here according to their structure words. The phrase to the mall here was enclosed in a parenthesis because this is optional. If we will eliminate this phrase, it will be like this. You and I are going today if the weather is nice. The sentence still has a complete thought even without the phrase to the mall. You and I are going today is underlined. This is because they can stand on its own even without the phrase to the mall or even without if the weather is nice. These words makes the structure complete. The phrase the weather is nice is just there to add more context to the sentence you and I are going today. As you can see, this sentence is a type of conditional sentence. Thus, the subordinating conjunction if is used in this sentence. The subordinating conjunction if is also enclosed in a bracket because it is the structure word that is being solved.